Alright, so RGG, they did it. We all saw it coming a mile away, like a rocket hitting you right in the face. And wouldn't you know, Kiwami 3 was announced at the recent RGG livestream. And not only that, we got Yakuza Kiwami 3 packaged with its own Mine Gaiden prequel side story sort of thing, which having a Mine playable game is cool. I'm eager to see more of that, although more on that in a little bit. I have some reservations. Just like I have some reservations of Kiwami 3 as a whole. Now look, I'm happy we're getting a new Kiryu game. I was calling it way before that. They're going to keep Kiryu around by having some kind of remakes of some kind that keep him in the spotlight, which makes sense, I guess. Now, am I, Mr. TDF, Mr. Tiger Drop Films in particular, excited for Yakuza Kiwami 3? Well, look, it's a new Yakuza game, so there's things to be, tempted with and excited for. However, I gotta say, not to be like a Debbie Downer or anything, because I do think that Kiwami 3 will be, by all means, a really fun and even great game, because it's based off something that was already great for me. And I think that the original Yakuza 3 was already a classic. And of course, say what you will about the past 3 Kiwamis, including Ishin, that did change things. Like, they're all still really good, solid games. They all have some really cool strengths. And it's not like they're slapping in the face of the original. I mean, Yakuza is really special, right? They gave the remakes a special Kiwami title. It's extreme, so things will be different, of course, from combat to just the graphics and side content. And maybe a few actors having to change for some reason. But Yakuza 3 isn't a PS2 game. It was a PS3 game. Not even 20 years old. It's not. And with the Ishin Kiwami, that game was more so like an Unreal upgrade. But they did change actors in that game for a lot of new fans and, change the combat a little bit. But it's like, I think that's a different thing, right? You have your PS2 games, you have your Unreal Ishin, port for American audiences, or, just a more worldwide release. But then you have Yakuza 3, which, like I said, was a game not even 20 years ago. A PS3 era game. And the thing is, I love the art styles of the old Yakuza games. I really do. Dragon Engine is great. And Dragon Engine really works well with certain games. But, like, look at Yakuza 6, or the First Judgment. Those are games that were built for the Dragon Engine by all means. You can really tell that it's camera work. But then you get something like, like Yakuza Kiwami 3, and while it does look pretty, it's like, like at the moment it's pretty, while I may be excited to see Okinawa and Dragon Engine and whatnot, I gotta say this one looks more uncanny than even what Kiwami 2 may have been for people that were really, attached to the original PS2 games. And like for me, I just think that from the actor changes really like stick out even more for Kiwami 3. For Ishin Kiwami, or whatever you want to call that release of Ishin that came out everywhere, that's a big soap opera of a very pivotal point in Japan's history, and it's not like those characters are made for that particular purpose. They're Yakuza characters playing the roles of real people, and it's very dramatic, action-packed. It's still a Yakuza game, of course, but you know what I mean. And you get Kiwami 3, where compared to like Kiwami 1 and 2, where nobody was really completely changed, right? That Takashima in Kiwami 2 was such a slight change, but he wasn't really a big player in the sense that Rikiya, Nakahara, and Hamazaki are. That's my big thing, right? Okay, you have to change the actor for some reason, but Rikiya, Nakahara, Hamazaki, man, I've already done this channel, video essays for Rikiya, Nakahara, and when you know it, Hamazaki over the past 3 months, 9 months, a year ago, right? You can see those videos right here. Those are they're gonna age a bit differently, knowing that Kiwami 3 is around the corner, and who knows what they might change with the dialogue or added scenes, right? I mean, that won't detract from the overall point of this story of Yakuza 3, but it's like, man, those are more egregious, apparent changes up front. And they changed Kiryu's iconic Okinawa shirt, damn it. Look, when it came to Infinite Wealth, I was hoping they released some kind of DLC pack letting Kiryu have a lot more of his iconic outfits, like his Okinawa 3 t-shirt, his taxi driver outfit, anything. But No, all we got was his Yakuza 0 outfit, and that's fine, but, like, the fact that even Infinite Wealth didn't give you that iconic classic Okinawa t-shirt for Kiryu, then Yakuza 3 Kiwami's giving you a whole different t-shirt. I know it's a thing that get caught up on a t-shirt, but man, like, it's not like they just gave the red and like yellow t-shirt a new design. It's a completely different color scheme. Same for Rikia. But then you have Rikia, who looks so different compared to Mikio. Characters like Mikio in this Kiwami 3. Mikio, Tamiya, you know, the big plot guy. Kanda, like, even all the kids in Morning Glory. Like, man, everybody's going to stick out more when you have the original designs kind of ported, maybe redid in the Dragon Engine, at least this version of Dragon Engine. Who knows, maybe this will be the last hurrah for the Dragon Engine, but if it is, why use it on Kiwami 3? And then, all the new actors and their faces, it's gonna be kind of Uncanny Valley, alright? That's the thing for me. Like, sure, we're getting Okinawa for the first time in the Dragon Engine since that little bit in Yakuza 6. And you're going to get maybe a more expanded Kamurocho and, you know, new side content of some kind, whatever that may be. However, man, with the new scenes and whatnot, I don't know. It just feels like if there's any game that was going to be an Uncanny Valley, it was going to be Yakuza Kiwami 3. Alright? They're already showing, like, listings for the DLC, like, party packs or your Rikyu gangs, like, guys and gals, some kind of, like, you know, costume pack like that, I think. I don't know. But the big thing is Mine's own Gaiden. It's probably barely going to be 4 or 5 chapters, to be honest. Just, you know, throwing a limb, because it's part of Yakuza Kiwami 3. You know, like, I don't think they're going to release, like, it's going to come with Mine's Gaiden, called Dark Ties. So I don't think it's going to be, it's probably going to be bigger than Majima Saga, maybe on par with Kaito Files in length, just my guesstimate. Look, I'm excited for it. I'm happy to see more Mine. It makes sense, right? I know Yokoyama wanted to bring him back for a reason. And his design is slightly tweaked. That's not a big deal, though. Like, you know, his hair is a little more just Dragon Engine-like, and that's fine. But this Dark Ties thing, I think they got Roger Craig Smith back to play English Daigo, which is nice. But, you know, okay, I'm going to play these in Japanese anyway, but why'd they get Yonya back? Come on. Yonya, come on. They should have got the guy who did Kiryu's Japanese voice in the Amazon show. Like, if there's one thing that come with that Amazon show, it should have been that live action voice for Kiryu. They should have used for, you know, I'm sorry, his English voice he had in the Amazon show. They should use that one for the games. You know, because we already have Takeya Kuruda coming back to redub for Kiwami 3, but I don't know, like, it's nice to see Kiryu and Haruka back, you know, little time capsule, but man, like, this Dark Ties thing's gonna be about Mine and Kanda and Daigo. It's gonna be in Kamurocho. That's fine. I think that new character they revealed in the trailer is gonna be the final boss for Mine in this Gaiden story. And I'm happy we're getting Dark Ties, right? But again, like, it's Dragon Engine. I don't know, like, sometimes the directing choices they take with the Dragon Engine with their cutscenes doesn't always appeal to me, as it does some of the older games, like 3, 4, and 5, I think are the bread and butter of, like, art style of Yakuza. It includes 0, 2 as well, of course. And then you got, like, you know, the original 1 and 2, which have their own unique style that was translated to their Kiwamis. Like, I'm talking about directing, you know, just the same cutscenes as is, which is fine. Then you get things like the Majima Saga, the new Nishi cutscenes, and now Mine's Dark Ties. They're going to be new cutscenes, but I don't know, we'll see how those fare. It's just like, I would have rather had like Dark Ties be the big release, I think, for me. And I'm happy, you know, at least it makes sense to do Kiwami 3, I guess. It's been like almost 10 years since Kiwami 2. But man, I don't know, like, again, it's going to be a good game, I'm sure. Mine, playing as Mine is going to be a real treat. However, like, the whole package, just, I don't know, man. There's so many remakes out there these days. Whatever franchise you look at. And I get it. Fans want things to be new and shiny, but I feel like that's just such a superficial feeling that's going to go away after, like, 5 years after this game releases. And sure, like, okay, we already have Yakuza 3 in the remastered collection, but I don't know, man. I'm sure it's going to be fine. It is going to be fine. But, like, I don't know. There's something about just going back to a game and just changing things, and then it's like, fine, maybe I can understand, but did I want it? I don't know, man. Like, it's just hard to beat the original versions of Yakuza 3 and 4 and 5. And even if something like Yakuza Zero's director's cut that we got this year, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like some things should be left in the past, right? You can reference them in future games, of course, like move forward. And RGG has been moving forward with Infinite Wealth and Power Yakuza and now Stranger Than Heaven. However, man, I'm like, just maybe like don't change so much of the past, you know? And again, they're not. This is Yakuza. This is a Kiwami game. They're not gonna like do a completely weird remake like some other franchises. It's still gonna be in line with the original intent. However, I was like, you know, I get it from a creative standpoint. At least Yakuza still has some of their original founders there. But it's like, I get it. You want to go back and change something, and you already are changing things by bringing back characters from the dead. But, I don't know. Like, I don't know. This game's just going to be very weird, I think. It's going to be good, but it's going to have a lot of weird feelings for me. And, you know, maybe I'll buy it for the sake of this channel, but and at least play as Mine. However, man, I don't know, is it gonna fly? Is it gonna soar? We might not know until in the future. But, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot riding on this, right? As an inherent remake. And I don't know, I think there's one character that should give a lot more screen time to. Let it be Hasabe. Anybody remember Hasabe, huh? But regardless, it's gonna be nice to see Takia Kuruda's Kiryu back. And of course, all his supporting characters. It's just, you know, the only thing that's making me want to buy this is that Mine Gaiden. But I feel like the inherent nature of removing all of Yakuza 3's original combat is going to really rub me the wrong way. Like, I get it, people have the whole Yakuza thing, fine. But Yakuza 3's bosses are so memorable for me because of that original combat style. And the only thing I would have changed with the original Yakuza 3 is, like, the heat system. Just make it a little, you know, let it have the heat system that Yakuza 4 perfected in 5. That's all. But I love the tightness, just the fluidity of the original Yakuza 3's combat, you know? And I get it, Dragon Engine, again, it's not just the graphics, people like the upgraded combat, but I mean, look, I liked Man Who Erased His Name. It was cool to have Red Heat back for Kiryu's Dragon of Dojima style, but I don't know, that wasn't my favorite Kiryu combat. I even enjoyed, I think, Yakuza 6 and Kiwami 2's combat more in terms of Dragon Engine, just from, like, you know, at least, you know, Yakuza 6 was built that whole his own version of that Dragon, the Dojima style. Then Kiwami 2, you gotta have a bunch of gear and weapons, which is what I experiment with. But here, I don't know, man. Like, if Kiwami 3, I saw some of the trailer. There was red heat, and then there's blue heat, so maybe they're keeping that original system intact. However, we saw some new heat actions, like Kiryu throwing a frisbee, I think, in Okinawa. And then we got like that, you know, Dragon God essence move he's had since, like, Yakuza 7, where he, like, has the actual, you know, dragon behind him. And he had it in Gaiden, the man who erased his name, and I think he had it in Infinite Wealth as a move. He did, I'm pretty sure, a Kiwami heat action, but I don't know, man. Like, okay, fine, it might be really cool and fun combat. You get the, you know, bust around Okinawa, Ryukyu, and the Dragon Engine, and a new version of Kamurocho. But I don't know, like, Dragon Engine's great, cool graphics, gameplay that's a bit, you know, has a cool, unique punch to it with its physics. But I feel like a lot of Dragon Engine kind of trades off more realism with its physics while still being, you know, some kind of goofiness with the fights. And, like, I don't know, I feel like Dragon Engine games can be really cheap in a way that the original games weren't with their fights. You know, like, bosses can, like, drain your health super quickly, and you can do it to the boss too. But in the old games, it felt like it was more even, you know? And I feel like that's going to be lost if Kiwami 3's take on Yakuza 3's combat. That was just me, you know? I just hope they don't change the music too much, because, like, with Kiwami 2, he had other composers that weren't there anymore, so Shoji himself had to, like, you know, make more tracks for the soundtrack. I don't know if that's the case of Yakuza 3, the original, so who knows? Who knows? I hope they keep the Loser tie-in theme. That was like a surf, you know, rock theme that was in the original Japanese release of Yakuza 3. I hope they keep that here on the new release. I think we heard some kind of new song in the trailer, I'm not sure, but regardless, for me, Mr. TDF, just a little, you know, reflection of this new Yakuza Kiwami 3 news and official videos. We all saw this coming a mile away, and while there are some surprises I could see, like the Mine Gaiden, when it comes to the graphics and the combat, that's going to be new. And whatever new side content they do, maybe they'll bring up the whole Kashiwagi thing with the Reapers or Reavers sub-story system. But I don't know, man. I feel like there's going to be some uncanny valley with the new actors, the new faces against like old Tamashiro and Mikio, Kanda, and you know, this Daigo model I think is the one they've been using for all the old Dragon Engine games. I don't know, it's like I miss the old art styles when games had an art style for uniqueness. I don't care if they were outdated. Like again, the original Yakuza 3 isn't even 20 years old, but I digress. I'm sure it's gonna be a great game. It's just, you know, I just remakes. I like my older games the way they are. I'm not trying to be an old man. I'm just saying, like, I get why RGG would do a Kiwami 3. You know, to keep Kiryu in the limelight with all these new characters being introduced. Why not repurpose an old game with your engine that new fans are used to? You know, do some recasting or whatever to make it different. It's just, you know, like I said, I already done video essays on Nakahara, Rikiya, and Hamazaki, so seeing these new versions is going to be really weird for me. But regardless, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with me? What are some of your personal concerns? Was there anything I missed? Let me know in the comments. And are you excited for Kiwami 3 and its Mine sub-story? Its Mine Gaiden? Well, let me know in the comments. I've been Mr. TDF. This is just a quick video for summing up my thoughts as a longtime Yakuza fan. But stay tuned, I got the Shinada show coming soon, and check out my Patreon for more bonus features just for you, the viewer. Until next time, keep tiger dropping.